who would have thought that just a phone call from an old friend would help me realize that letting go of all of this old energy, which is what my old stuff is, because it gave me a glimpse into the future and what is waiting for me.
Welcome to Elevated Life, Real Wellness and Transformation Podcast, where we walk alongside the internally driven individual as they transform their life through wellness, movement, mindset, and personal responsibility. If that's you, you're in the right place. Let's jump in.
Full transparency. We are in a motel, not a hotel, because I don't like hotels. We're traveling again. I feel
Shocker.
like, oh my gosh, we are traveling almost every weekend. And, we're really good thing we're good at travel.
Yeah, it is. And a couple things that I want to say right off the get. But with that specifically, that's a big testament to you because you've been very intentional with how we travel.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten over the last few years, we've gotten much better.
Yeah.
And making sure we have the shit that we need. We don't don't bring what we don't need, I guess, so that's
about that. I have a whole suitcase.
well,
I've just
packing
watching this on YouTube. You're going to notice the different background because obviously we're in a motel. But our fancy setup for today is literally our phones are on my suitcase, propped up against our Stanley coffee thermos. Clint is on a towel. This is high tech.
And that was the other thing that I wanted to mention right from the beginning. If you're watching on YouTube, we don't have obviously our regular microphones, so we're using our lapel lav mics, and mine doesn't work with my shirt, so I just pinned it to my beard.
Yeah.
Because I talk with my hands a lot, and it would be all over the place. And
cheerleader Clint, who talks with his hands. Yeah, it's funny because we were chatting last night before we fell asleep. I asked Clint, what are 5 quirks about yourself? Because I've been really thinking, and I've mentioned this in an earlier podcast, how we're all kind of on the spectrum. Like we all have a little bit of ADHD. We all have a little autism. Now there's some people, of course, that are, I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, but everyone is this new word or this old word that I want to get out of my vocabulary. Everyone is kind of weird. The reason why I want to get it out of my vocabulary is because it just isn't real. I feel like normal is weird. Like everything is weird. And there is no normal. Like, so you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I think it's part of the opening your eyes to things. I don't know that everybody would understand what you're saying, because it does feel to a certain subset of the population that there is a normal and a weird.
Sure.
Right. But once you start seeing, oh no, those things kind of all live together. And then, it's just like we've talked about, like the purple Subaru, you never see them until you buy one. And then all of a sudden they're everywhere. Once you start seeing that, oh no, weird and normal are the same thing essentially, and you can't unsee it, then it's everywhere. Then nothing feels normal. Nothing feels weird, because everything is just that.
I just don't like, in terms of like labeling people is weird. That's my issue, because I feel like every human is weird. We're all weird. And so anyway, with that said, we were talking last night about our quirks. And one of my kind of quirks is I do not like staying in hotels. I don't. They are sterile. You can't, most of the time you can't open the window, or you can only open it like a little bit. And I have to have some kind of contact with the outside at all times. Now, that doesn't mean I always have to have a window or a door open, but I have to have poorly built buildings where airflow can come through. Honestly, some kind of natural air, light. I have to be able to see the outside, or I get kind of anxious, like anxiety, like I feel closed in. And so the reason why I prefer motels is because I know you can't see this, and I keep pointing over to it. There's a window that I can open, and there's a fresh breeze, and there's trees right here. And then when I open up the front door, it's right into a parking lot, right? Or stairways or whatever. It's not, I'm opening it up to some sterile hallway that has no fresh air, that's dimly lit, and I feel like I'm in The Shining every time. Like, I don't care what kind of carpet the hotel has. I'm just like waiting for some twins to pop out. And so anyway, that's
Which is why we're not moving to an apartment.
yeah, right. So that's one of my funny things. And this is really the only motel that we stay in. We're in Hood River heading to Oregon to spend the weekend in Oregon. But normally we stay in hotels, and I have to really mentally gear my, especially the elevators. Not an elevator fan at all.
Well, I'm with you there.
Yeah. Like the thought of being trapped in an elevator, which is why I constantly huff water around. I don't even know what I do. I don't even like sharing elevators with people for that reason. Like if there's a lot of people in there, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, how are we going to get air? I don't even want to think about it. It makes me like
Well, let's
beat
move on
air.
then.
Yeah. So one of your quirks.
Um, what was one that I can't even remember them now? Put
You
me on the
can't remember
spot.
your own quirks?
No, what did we say? There were a couple that were kind of funny. Do you remember?
Clint likes to explain what he's going to say 50 times through before he actually gets to the main point. So he prefaces and he prefaces and he prefaces, and it's this long diatribe to get like to I like blue. It's just like, and it used to like drive me crazy. And in my head, I would think you could probably have used about 7,000 less words to say I like blue, but it's just part of who he is.
So, just as a disclaimer, for the what's quirky about your partner game, make sure you're in a good headspace to do it,
Oh, yeah.
and not, not that it's going to devolve into, oh, I think it's quirky how you're a terrible person.
Yeah, right. Well, the other thing, this is part of the whole we're all weird. We're a little bit on the spectrum. Like you have to create space for people to be who they are, right? And this is part of that. So,
This is what I will say though, as we were going through, and I said this last night too. If we would have had that conversation when, let's say, a couple months after we first got together, I think I would have remembered a lot more of just the super little, silly, quirky things about Jonna. But it's it's just become, that's just life now.
yeah,
So I don't even see it as quirky so much anymore. It's just, well, I thought of one for you. I didn't think of another one for me.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
The
go
the
ahead.
thing that used to be super weird,
Oh,
using
go ahead.
that word.
Just say it. Say it all.
Um, Jonna has a tendency to leave cabinet doors open. So, as an example, if she goes and gets us coffee, which I love the fact that she does.
And I do it so rare because every morning I literally wake up to Clint putting my coffee right next to my bed. But on occasion, I go get the
I
coffee.
really brought this whole story up just for you to say
Yeah,
that. So I'm good.
yeah,
No.
we can move on.
She'll get the coffee cups out of the cupboard and just leave the door open. Leave the cupboard door open. And at first it was like, what, why, what, I don't like, it wasn't an irritant or it didn't upset me or anything. It was just like, I've never seen this before. And then what's fascinating is when the kids come over, they do the same thing.
And you know what's so funny? I didn't realize that I did this. Now, I did realize when I cook,
For sure.
I have everything open. I even leave the refrigerator open because I like it all out. I want to see it all. I'm very much a visual person. So I know that I do it then. I did not know until last night that I do it like all the time. And what's funny is when the kids come home and I know they do that because I'm like, motherfuckers. And now I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, they learned it from watching me. Right? Oh, so funny. So funny. All right.
But it is, I will just say, and then we can move on. It was very fun last night. Us thinking about those types of things about ourselves and about each other and just having a great laugh about
Oh,
it because it's just such inconsequential stuff.
I laughed so hard. It was great. And it
Yeah.
really is like a lesson in kind of, well, first of all, you have to be able to receive if you're going to have this conversation with your partner.
Mhm.
You're going to have to be able to hear them and not take offense to everything. Right? Because again, let's go back to we're all weird.
Yep.
Okay. Let's forget that there's normal people.
Mhm.
I don't even know what that is. So we're all a little weird. And so, okay, so for you, and we didn't talk about this last night. It just came to my Clint
Brand new one.
likes to lock and double check and triple check everything, right? Like double check that he did this, go back and triple check that this is done. Is the car locked? I do the car locking thing. Like I'll lock, like kind of how I turn off the heat.
Oh yeah,
That's how I lock doors. Chugga, chugga, chugga.
yeah.
So anyway, that's a thing. Did
But
you know that about yourself?
oh yeah, yeah. That's like a borderline OCD.
Sure.
I need to go
Just
check the oven.
weird.
Well, no, but I mean, just like to put it in context,
Sure.
because that's one of those things that, like, if you watch a documentary about, people that really suffer with OCD and crippled. There you go. That's the word I was,
Yeah.
like, I got to check the door 36 times before I can leave. I'm not quite like that.
Right.
But definitely those types of things.
Yeah.
I know this is turned off. I know I did this. I'm just going to go look 3 more times.
Right.
I know I have my wallet in my pocket. I need to check and check and check again. And then when we're driving out the driveway, I'll stop the car, check and make sure I've got my wallet.
Yeah.
I know I just checked it, but yeah, for sure.
All right. So what's another thing about myself that I just pointed out yours? So
yeah,
we can do that.
And then we can move on because I don't know.
It's kind of fun.
Okay. Well, another one that I brought up last night that makes me chuckle every time because John is kind of an extreme person and really like gets after stuff and it's like, okay, if she makes up her mind that she wants to go pull weeds, let's say it's right now, she's going and doing it for as long as it takes to get it done or whatever it may be. It's not like, okay, yeah, I need to do that. Like, nope, we're jumping in full bore, we're going. And so if we are driving and it's hot, or it's cold outside, and so we've got the heater going, maybe it's like in the middle, the fan speed, but it's cranked up to high, then, and it's getting warm, whatever, then all of a sudden it'll be like, okay, Jauna's warm. Now it's cranking the temperature thing to low. And once it's on low, crank it 6 or 7 more times, even though it's not going any lower than low. Cranking the fan until it's turned all the way down. And again, a few more times. And then turning the whole system off.
And I didn't know that I did this. And how I explained this to Clint last night is it's more like, yes, I'm done. And when I'm done, I'm done. And it's not just with heat.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I am in a conversation sometimes. Like, okay, I'm done here. Bye.
Bye.
And I walk away.
Yep.
Right? But I'm just like grasping at the turn it all off. I just start pushing all the buttons. So it looks like that. And then, yes, when my eye sees the off button, then I'm like, oh, that's where it's at. But it takes me a while to see that off button. I'm just like spazzing out with my hands. And then it's like, oh, boop, off.
Oh, that was easy.
Times. Wouldn't that be lovely if we could do that with people? It's terrible, but honestly, like, stop. Oh, wait,
Oh,
there's
wait,
the
there it
button.
is. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, this was super fun. One of the things that I'm just going to bring this up, not because I'm trying to talk about myself, but when you said, Jonna, you always talk about yourself in the third person, I laughed so hard because it reminded me of Seinfeld. Like that was such a belly laugh. And yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. I'm always like talking to Jonna outwardly.
Uh-huh.
And Clint made a really interesting, like, what do you call it? Parallel or observation
Sure.
that that could come from my disassociation from the past, because you guys know that, I used to do that. I'm working so hard, but sometimes too, I just like to speak things out because I process a lot with words, which is why I do a podcast, right?
Which is also a quirky thing about you that I really appreciate now, because I mean, there's so many things. John is like nobody I've ever met before.
I'm weird.
Not, but you do talk to yourself out loud a lot.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate now because it helps me understand what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like how you're processing through, oh, we're getting this done. Okay. I'm gonna be in on it in just a second because you're gonna talk about it. So that's something that I found myself doing more, and it's actually pretty beneficial in some cases.
I really like it. I think a lot of that actually has to do with trauma, but I never had anyone to talk to, right? So I've been talking to myself my whole life because there was no like adult caregiver that I could talk to or say anything to other than yes, yes. That's basically it. So I just learned to talk to myself, and some people who live in the normal weird reality, which I don't, think that that's odd maybe, or they're embarrassed by it. Not me. Nope, I'm going to talk to myself anywhere. Like, and I see other people doing it and I'm like, and then I think, oh, that's you. That's what, that's what you look like. Like, oh my goodness, it's just funny. It was so funny. So those are some of our like little quirks. I mean, we obviously have more, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a little window into how we think.
So if you have quirks, let us know.
Oh, geez. Drop a comment that we're not going to see because everything's so fluid.
Hey, friends, if you're getting something out of this, connect with us on our social media platforms. We're at CJ Elevated Life _ on Instagram and TikTok, and CJ Elevated Life on Facebook and X. We're answering DMs, sharing daily content, and building community with people ready for real transformation. For now, hit subscribe wherever you're listening, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We drop 2 new episodes every week. And if this episode resonates, share it. That's how we reach more people who are ready for change. You can also find everything at cjelevatedlife.com. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. All right, guys. So if you just heard all of that, and I don't know how we're slapping these two things together, Clint got a spam call. We're recording on our phones. It knocked us all out of whack. So we're transitioning from talking about our quirks and how it's okay to be human. It's a human experience. We're all weird, normal. Maybe it's the word normal that I need at 86 and not the word weird. Maybe both of them need to go.
Yeah.
Maybe I could come up with my own word.
All right. We have to come up with some word that melds normal and weird.
Yeah. We're ormal. We're all ormal.
Nope.
No, that doesn't
Not
flow.
gonna work.
Anyway, now we're going to talk about this process of letting go that we are still journeying through, right? Or in the middle of. And it really has come to my awareness. You know, you guys know we're going through all of our stuff. And of course, I have a lot of stuff. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Now you're touching your phone.
Everything's good.
It's making me nervous.
I don't want to tip your phone over, though.
Well, then stop touching
it was messed up.
Okay. Are you
Are we
feeling better
good?
now? I feel great. It's about you right now. Are you good, sir?
It was just tippy. It looked like it was going to tip over.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, you're fine. You're human. That means you're weird. So,
Nord. Did you hear me say that?
Nord.
Normal and weird.
Oh, I
Nord.
like that.
Nord.
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 Okay, so now when everything's either normal or weird, we're just gonna say Nord.
That's kind of a fun word.
It is.
That was one of my quirks.
Yeah.
I make up weird words.
He does make up weird words. We didn't even talk about that.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Dial it back in.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe that's just the way this podcast is going. I'm not trying to control things.
Yeah.
Letting go. So we've been trying to find a shipping company, which here's what I'm going to say to anyone who has a shipping company that may be listening or dealing with shipping companies. I have now decided that they are more like a slimy used car salesman because, you know, you get these quotes, and if you don't read through exactly what they're saying, and I'm so grateful that Clint has taken this on because we have gone back and forth with, first of all, we're quoted that we have 10 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. Then when it comes back, the math is like new math and it's wrong. Then they're like, oh, send us, you know, all of the things that you're taking, furniture pieces. And they left off like 6 things. And then when we called them out on it, they're like, oh, no, we got it. But see, we're documenting all of this so that when, you know, they quote us a price and then we take our stuff there or they come pick it up. This is how they make extra money. Oh, we didn't have it, that you had this silver chest and this, you know, these things. And us just saying, well, no, we sent it right here. So we're trying to make sure everything's documented. This has just been like mind numbing for 2 days.
It really has.
7,000 emails sent, literally.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, it's kind of just reiterating what you were just saying. But, you know, like the 50th email in back and forth. And we did, for those of you who are just yelling at us right now, just freaking call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. John did.
Because I'm a caller.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I'm done with the email. These motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about. I need to hear exactly dimensions of the space that I have. Why is that so hard to get, movers? Like, you have this amount of space for this amount of dollars. Is that even a thing anymore?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it because the guy said, okay, you have this amount of space. And so then we even packed all of our stuff. We have one shed, we call it the tiny house. We talked about it some, but it's just it's like a 12 by 15 shed.
Tiny house.
Yeah. And so we taped it off in 8 by 10, and it happens to be right about 8 feet tall inside. And so we're like, okay, this is our area.
Yep.
Let's pack all of everything that we want to take that's non-box.
Yeah.
So any piece of furniture fit in that area, and you could kind of get a visual. And then we knew, okay, we've got about this many boxes. So this is, you know, 18 rounds in after Jonna's call. And then we've got this visualized and taken pictures of it, sent a bunch of pictures and sent that back to the guy. And it took up, you know, probably about half of the 10 by 8 by 10 space, the furniture without any of the boxes.
Yep.
So it seems like when you add in the boxes, it's going to be, you know, about 8 by 10. And so we're like, okay, then he took his inventory off of that, sent us a quote. In the fine print in the quote, it's 363 cubic feet or something.
Right.
For those of you mathematicians, 10 by 8 by 8 is 640 cubic feet.
Yeah.
And so I went back to him like, hey, you told us we have 640 cubic feet, but you're quoting at 363.
Yeah.
So what happens, even if everything on the list is everything we pack, what happens if it's more than that 363 square feet or cubic feet? Like, well, it's $20 a cubic foot extra.
And the other thing that was astonishing to me is we have dressers in there, and his measurements on the dressers was like 2 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, do you not see the scale here? And Clint even said, like, this dresser takes up a huge part, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, all that being said, this is just ridiculous. And I'm all done working with people who don't do their job, who are shady. They're just I'm like, why is everyone so freaking shady?
Mhm.
And we are, Clint, not me, is very detailed. So he's reading all of the things that we're signing in detail, and I'm so grateful for that, because I would have been like, oh, homeboy told me on the phone, because I'm just a dummy. He told me that's what he told me. You get 8 by 8 by 8. And I was like, thank you very much, sir. I'm going to go huff everything out to the tiny house and tape it off, because John is visual and I have to see it. And then come to find out in the fine print, liar, liar, pants on fucking fire.
Yeah. Which is really a testament to the way I like to do things, which works out great, is both email or whatever written, and a phone call.
Yeah.
So then, you can, and whichever way, it doesn't matter. But now John has been able to talk to the guy, hear his voice, communicate, ask a bunch of questions, whatever. But I also want to get it in writing from him.
Yeah.
And then it's just hey, you told us on the call that we just had,
right,
we have 680 cubic feet and you're quoting us at this, and basically trying to charge us double.
Yeah.
And once that happens, then it's just, it's, with like the movers, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to charge us after they've got all our stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like
you're at the point where you're like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
$6 million, fine.
Yeah, I just want this to be over.
And our moving situation is unique because we live way out in the middle of nowhere, and only a certain amount of moving companies can help us. But okay, so I'm saying all this to say, yesterday on the drive, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't need to bring dressers. I don't need to bring this stuff. It really is coming from a place of lack, like limiting beliefs. I know that the universe is going to provide a dresser. And why do I feel like I need to bring old energy into my new life? That's the bigger thing. And I've been hearing that in different ways also in my life. And so it's like, I love when Source steps in and he's like, I just said he, and she's like, we're going to have a pause here and have this moving thing not go super smooth, so that you can create the space and become aware of, why are you bringing this old shit into your new life? You don't need it, right? I mean, none of it, I don't want to say none of the things, but literally 95% of the things that I'm huffing over have no sentimental value. The things that have value are the pictures that we saved from the fire. Some of my lamps, I love my lamps. I've spent years collecting lighting because I love light. These are things that are important. But like the dressers, meh. I mean, the blue chairs in the office, yes, I love them. They're great. But
But they're Wayfair chairs.
I know, but I still love them. I don't
Sure.
But you know what I mean, guys? It's like, no, this slowly peeling back the layers of letting go, because had you told me, a couple years ago, and I've said it on podcasts when we talk about the move, oh no, I'm not attached to anything.
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm not attached to anything. Well, motherfuckers, turns out, yes, I am. And so I've gone through this weird layers, right, of peeling back this. And I'm to the point where I'm like, we're doing a U-Pack out of Spokane. We're probably going to do one little 7x7x7 thing. And I feel really good about that. But there was things that had to happen for me to get to that point when we were packing the other night and staging the tiny house, because I have to see things. If I can't visualize it, it is so scattered in my brain. That's another quirk that we come up against all the time. All the time. I have to see things. This whole like floating out in the universe with no vision on it, I don't understand that. It is literally like Mandarin to me. I just can't even, I misfire. Actually, my brain, it misfires. So I have to stage this, right? Like, and I'm getting really worked up. Okay. I'm getting like frustrated, completely dysregulated, feeling anxiety, just that whole notion. And my phone rings and I get a phone call from my oldest friend on Maui, because she saw on Facebook that I posted that I'm moving to Kauai. Now, mind you, she was one of the people that I messaged like months ago when we were thinking about moving to the islands. But she's not someone who's on Facebook a lot. She's just not. So she didn't get the message. But she saw my post with the countdown of August 1st, and she's a caller. She's a boomer. So, she wants to talk. She doesn't want to message back and forth.
And it shows that we do like some boomers.
Yeah.
Not all boomers.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Anyway, so Linda is her name, and she lives on the north shore of Oahu right now. They moved there from Maui because their son is a pro surfer. And anyway, we picked up, boom, just like, last time I spoke to her was 2019, it was before COVID. And so there's a lot of life that has happened to me between 2019 and 2026, guys. So, gave her the Reader's Digest version. It was so uplifting and so lovely because Linda is a lover. She loves people. And when we hung up, she said, "Jonna, I love you so much. And I can't wait to pick up exactly where we left off." And it gave me this, well, first of all, I was just like so stoked, right? I mean, because Linda was someone who, I know you want to say something, but I want to say this. She was such an example to me as a mother. We had kids at the same time. Emma is, my middle child is the same age as her last born, Eli. And so she helped me as a mother. I met her when I was 19. So just kind of nurtured me. And I didn't realize that until I had moved to the mainland and thought that family was going to be the nurturing part and help me. And they never did. And I thought, now I have all these like visions of Linda just helping me, teaching me how to be a mother and all those things. So anyway, that's where she is in my heart. But it helped me be able to let go of all this stuff. And I know that sounds weird because Nord, because why would just a conversation, but it helps me. I was able to like astral project into the future and get excited about the future and seeing Linda. And I know she will live on a different island, but that's just like boop, a 20-minute plane ride. But it just like got me so excited that all of this stuff energetically didn't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. It was like, I don't care about the bookshelf. Good. Let's forget it. Right. Like, so it's been an interesting, process, just like anything else.
Hey, quick pause. If this episode is hitting you and you're ready for real tools, here's what we built.
Head on over to cjelevatedlife.com, pick up the Rebuilt Method for Men or the Rebuilt Method for Women, just $67 each. We also created the Parasite Detox Blueprint at $37. And this is actually the exact protocol we use ourselves.
And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter. You'll get the weekly action steps and new tools we've tested ourselves. Let's get back to the episode.
Go ahead. You have been wanting to talk for like 5 minutes, and I just went on this long diatribe.
Oh, I thought it was beautiful.
Aw,
Thank you for doing that.
thanks.
No, I was just gonna say it was definitely a testament to what you were talking about with just your whole being, your beyond just your countenance, just everything, clearly in what was spiraling into a negative place, just with all the and of overwhelm and all the things.
Yeah.
And then just to get that random call,
Yeah.
completely out of the blue call, and then how you were after that call, it was like you were a different person.
Oh, really? We haven't
Oh,
even talked about that.
oh, yeah, yeah. And before we even spoke about it, just when you came out of the bedroom,
Yeah.
and into the living room, like you were so much brighter and happier, and just beyond just, oh, it was cool that I got to talk to my friend.
Yeah.
It was like a weight had been lifted.
Yeah. I really felt that weight. Like it just, yeah, it was really interesting. And who would have thought that just a phone call from an old friend would help me realize that letting go of all of this old energy, which is what my old stuff is, because it gave me a glimpse into the future and what is waiting for me. And I didn't know I needed that to be able to let go, but I absolutely needed that. And so it's still going to be a process because I had this epiphany yesterday when we were leaving to Nasket, like when we were talking about movers and blah blah blah, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just sell it. I'm sick of trying to like measure a bookshelf 15 times to get the right, measurements because this guy doesn't know how to do math. I mean, even I can do that. Clint just fell on the ground. I love that. Your towel slipped because I switched my legs and I kicked the suitcase a little bit.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah. So,
oh, there
and
goes
there I go. Oh, you YouTube people are just you're
all
getting,
the good stuff.
there's my hand. He wants to read my hand. Anyway, so yeah, it's a process. And so now I only have a few boxes packed, but now I'm actually going to take some time and go through those boxes and really like be bizarrely intentional. When you see those organization or hoarder shows where they're like, hold on to it and ask if this is something that you're supposed to bring into your future. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that with my crystals and rocks and shells that take up an entire box because I definitely am taking those. But the other things, why am I holding on to them? Right? Is it a spirit of lack? Is it trying to bring this old energy? What is it? It's this process of really understanding that but I'm going to speak for myself right now, are stepping into an entire new life. And energetically, do I really want to bring this, whatever this thing is, with me into my new life? So,
You said a word that we say a lot and I really love, and it's really come into my vocabulary a lot, or my mind, my existence a lot more. Oh,
we're okay. It's just YouTube was like staring right at my knee, and they still are.
oh. um, but doing those things with intentionality,
Yeah.
which it's so much deeper than you might say, and we've said you're going to be ruthless with what we need to get rid of. In my mind, that's just like you said, fuck it, just get rid of all the shit. It's all shit. I don't care. Be done. Be done with it. I'm cranking this thing down 500 times because I'm done and I'm not thinking about it anymore. The intentionality, though, of how you're going to be with all of your things it's so much more important, because it really helps you connect with what you're doing. And you can extrapolate that out into every facet of your life. as far as living with intentionality, because sometimes intentionality means I need to get my ass in gear and I need to go do something. I got to move on this. I got to go. Sometimes intentionality means let me pause for a second and really make sure this is whatever it might be. This is what I want to be doing right now. This is what I want to keep, what I want to purchase, something I want to get involved with, whatever. So I love that
really
idea.
interesting is that I thought I was being intentional. And turns out at that moment, from my capacity, I was. But then an interaction with another human that caused me to pause created more space for me to see, wait a second. And I grew in that moment. I grew in the understanding that I needed to let more things go. But I can say with certainty when I first packed those boxes and also picking the things that we were going to keep, I was being intentional with who I was in that moment. This is just such a testimony to every day you're literally a new person if you step into that, right? And you allow those moments to speak to you, right? Because it's not like Linda was calling me to tell me, God just told me that you're supposed to let it all go, right? It was just a conversation, a connection, a deep, meaningful, like transparent conversation that then inspired me. And she doesn't know that she did this, but it inspired me to go, oh my goodness, I am really trying to drag this stuff up into this next life. So it's a process, guys. It's a process. So now it looks like we're doing a U-Pack type situation, mostly with just the totes of some things. And now that I have this new understanding, and when we get back home, I'll be able to look at those things with this new, understanding. And it's going to be really interesting to see what I'm just like posting on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
If you're local, I'm going to be posting next week so many things. So many things. So if you're looking for stuff,
Probably when you hear this, it'll be this week.
oh, yeah. Yeah. When you hear this, it'll be this week. So anyway, and I'm not having another yard sale.
No.
And I say that, and my spirit just was like, don't say that because you might. So anyway,
I think we're running out of time.
we are. We
But
don't have time. Anyway.
Probably running out of time on this podcast too.
Yeah, for sure.
Good transition.
I know.
Ending.
Good job, sir.
That's
Well
what I'm here
done.
for.
Thank you so much for listening, you guys, and just walking with us through this transition in real time. And, being gracious with what we're learning. And I'm super grateful for this process. It's hard AF, just like any other time you're doing any kind of healing, letting go. I don't care what it is. It's hard. And so I really appreciate that you guys have been so gracious in your listening to us.
Yeah, and
do this.
bearing with us just logistically in
Yeah.
this one, and phones falling, and
So what's our new word? Nord. Nord. So instead of saying normal and weird, because those words just they're archaic. We're going to say, Nord. Nord. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening.
Have a Nord day.